Hi class. So far we've learned some basic concepts and characteristics of futures, forward, and options. So in this video, we're going to finish our lecture on chapter 5, currency derivatives, and I'm going to go over some more practice problems on options. Okay, so let's first start with two basic ones we've already went over from last class. You can open up your slides for chapter 5 and go to page 69. Okay, this is something we've already looked at before. The higher the existing spot price relative to the strike price, the more valuable the call options will be. Okay, so when the spot price is higher than the strike price, we can purchase the currency at a low strike price and sell it at the higher spot price to make profit. So the call option is more valuable. On the contrary, the lower the existing spot price relative to the strike price, the more valuable the put option will be. Okay, so for put option, we prefer a lower spot price, so we can purchase the currency at a lower spot price and sell it at a higher strike price. So we can make profit, so the value for the put option will be higher. Okay, so let's look at another third practice here. Both call and put option premiums are affected by the level of the existing spot price relative to the strike price. For example, a high spot price relatively to the strike price will result in a relatively high premium for a call option, but a relatively low premium for a put option. Is this true? Yes, it is. Okay, again, for call option, we want a high spot price, low strike price, because we would want to purchase the currency at a low strike price. Okay, but for put option, we don't want this to happen. So the premium would be low for put option in this case, and the premium would be high for call option in this case. Both call and put option premiums are affected by the level of the existing spot rate relative to the strike price, the length of time before the expiration date, and the potential variability of the currency. This is true. Okay, we discussed last class, there are 3 factors affecting the premiums of call and put. And here are the 3 factors. Okay, spot rates relative to the strike price, S minus X, the length of time, T, before expiration date, and the potential variability or volatility, sigma. Okay, the greater the variability of a currency, the greater will be the premium of a call option on this currency, and the greater will be the premium of put option on this currency. So for call and put, they both want higher variability, sigma, also higher T, length of time. So for the first factor, S minus X, option and put have different preference, but for the second and third factor, T and sigma, they both want longer time and higher volatility. Okay. Let's look at an arithmetic question here. If we have premium on a call option as 0.02, the exercise price of the call premium is 1.32. The break point, even point, is what for the buyer of the call, and is what for the seller of the call. Assume zero transaction costs and that the buyer and seller of the put options are speculators. So for this question, you may want to pause the video, or I could leave you a few seconds here. Okay, please take out your pen, pencil. Try to work on this question. Think about what are the breakpoints for the buyer and seller of the call. Have you figured out the answer yet? I'm going to discuss the next slide of the solution. So if you haven't finished, you can pause the video now and resume it later once you finish. Okay, so for this question, we should choose option D. For both the buyer and seller, the break-even point should be 1.34. Okay, let me explain both cases. So for the buyer, the case is relatively simpler. Okay, so for the buyer, let me put buyer here. Okay. For the buyer, we're gonna have to, if we're going to exercise the call option, we're gonna have to pay 0.02 anyway, right? To purchase the call option, to pay for the premium. And then when we exercise the call option, we're gonna pay 1.32. Okay, so altogether, we're gonna pay 1.34. Okay, to buy and exercise the option. This is our cash outflow. So if we want to have a break-even point where we make zero profit, but we don't lose either, we're gonna have to have a cash income of 1.34, meaning we pay 1.32 to purchase the euro underlying the call option. We should be able to sell the currency at 1.34 on the spot market. Okay, so this is the break point for the buyer. Okay, if we can exercise the option at 1.32 and sell the euro on the spot market at 1.34, so we receive 1.34, and at the same time we pay 1.34 altogether. We're gonna break even. Okay, and for the seller, let me mark it as S. First of all, we're gonna receive 0.02 as our premium, right? And then when the buyer exercises the option, we're gonna also receive 1.32. Okay. So in order to break even, it would have cost us 1.34 to purchase or borrow euro on the market at the price of 1.34. So we can resell the euro to the buyer of the option. Okay, and we're going to receive 1.34 in total. Okay, this is why for both buyer and seller, we are having 1.34 as our break-even point. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the video for now. So our first video is just for about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna continue lecturing on the other practice problems in this slides in the next video for the rest of the part for chapter 5.